our recording to start. Thank you for joining the Teaching Center today, and we are excited that Robert Ladd, our OER Ambassador Coordinator here at Nashville State for Faculty, has invited EcoText to share with us about OER, Open Education Resources. And so I'm going to pass it to Robert so he can do a more in-depth introduction. We are so grateful that you're here today.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I'm going to be introducing us this week to EcoText. Is one of the local OER companies in the United States. I've worked with a few, and some of them are overseas, but right here with us, we have talked to Joel and his team multiple times about multiple projects, and some of the work they do is really excellent. And today we're just going to be getting a general overview of what they already have in their course catalog. So we can get kind of an idea of faculty of what OER is not only out there, but ready to use right now for us. So I'm going to let Joel take it away, and he's going to be the majority, the one bearing this load as he takes us through EcoText and shows us what all they have to offer.
Awesome. Appreciate the introduction there, Robert. As mentioned, my name is Joel Kunku. I'm one of the co-founders of EcoText. And so today I'll spend a little bit just giving you guys an introduction to our business, EcoText, who we are. I also want to learn a little bit about you guys and then give a sneak peek into the catalog. And I understand as well, we have a second session later this week. And so we'll focus that session more in kind of building a curriculum, how you can actually leverage EcoText in a way that works for you. So I'm going to share my screen here. I have a couple slides that will kind of structure the discussion, and then I'm also going to hop into the product live to give you guys a sense of what EcoText is, and feel free, throughout this presentation or afterward, to go to ecotext.co and create an account. And I'm here to help and answer any questions as we move along. So I'm going to share my screen here, and just feel free to give me a verbal cue if it comes up okay. All right, should see full screen here. Awesome. All right, sounds like a plan. So quick agenda, we have about 45 minutes to an hour. So what I want to do is just give you guys a sense of who EcoText is. So what's our story? How did we even get into the world of OER? What are our motivations? I want to learn a little about Nashville State Community College. So for those in the room, I'd love to hear, quick snapshot of your name, what do you teach, what campus that you're on, and also just an understanding of where you are in the OER journey. If you're in the discovery process, if you're adopting, just want to get a sense as well from my curiosity. We'll also just highlight some trends in OER, and these are things that you might that might correlate with what's happening on campus, but just to give kind of a macro view of what this movement is and the momentum. And then we're going to jump into the platform. We'll also, I'll share a sneak peek about the catalog, how you can leverage the search to find resources that are already available for you to take advantage of. And then we'll reserve the rest of the time for any questions that you guys might have. So without further ado, here's a snapshot of the team. So when the question's asked, who is EcoText? This is the answer. A small but mighty team, as you can see here, just the 5 of us. And, recently the 2 individuals on the right-hand side, Carol Anglos and Rachel Gear, have recently joined our team in efforts to expand our focuses and really understanding how academia is impacting how we do operations, and then also from the content acquisition side. So really making it a big effort for us to get the titles that you guys are looking for. But, just as we're a small but mighty team, and we're also dispersed, right? So 3 of us were here in the Northeast between Massachusetts and New Hampshire. Carol is in California and Rachel's in the UK. So in a similar but different fashion, we understand what it means to be virtual or remote and have to communicate and engage in creative ways. So that's a quick snapshot of, kind of who is in EcoText. But I want to also give kind of insight on, the history of EcoText. And this kind of travels back actually to my undergraduate year, where the concept of EcoText was really birthed. And as an undergrad student, it was always frustrating for me semester after semester to go and try to find my textbooks at a reasonable price. And so that was a pain point that I felt continuously, that my peers also shared that frustration with me. And we really believed as a team that there had to be a way to enable students to get their academic resources in such a way that doesn't break the bank, that doesn't have them take 2 steps back financially. And that's where, we stumbled across OER and really started to leverage that within the platform. And then we started thinking of ways of how we can really emphasize or unleash OER in a way that allows students to really take advantage of it within the modern classroom. So we have over 100,000 resources up to date currently in our catalog. And I'll mention as well later in the presentation some of the different partners that we work with to get content to make sure it's available for you guys to leverage. So we really think it's the future. And if we do a good job of making sure there's no friction and finding content that works for educators and that doesn't have financial burden for students, I think that's a solution that we all want to strive for. So it's a little snapshot about myself, my team, our motivations and our why. I'd love to take a moment to quickly go around the room and for everyone in the room to be able to just around Robin style, if I said that correctly, your name, what discipline you might be teaching, what campus that you're on, and in a sentence or two, just where are you in this OER journey? Are you kind of in the discovery process? Are you just interested? Are you actively adopting? Just to get a sense of who's in the room with us. So I'll just call out if that's okay. And the first name I see at the top here is Michelle.
Hi, I am teaching English, and I'm doing that on our Dixon campus. I am definitely in the discovery phase. Robert's been trying to get me to pay attention to him for a while. I'm finally doing that. I'm interested in pursuing this option, so I'm learning more about it starting today. Thank you.
Awesome. Excited that you're here with us today. Maria, are you available?
Yes, I am. Hi, I'm Maria Smith. I teach mathematics. I teach both at the Humphreys County campus and the Dixon campus currently. I'm in the exploring stage because I have gone to different conferences that mentioned that it's possible to do OER in math. I just haven't seen it yet. So I would like to explore more about it and see if that's even possible with the different math classes that I teach. So thank you.
May I ask within math, what specifically do you teach?
Oh, I teach elementary statistics. I teach finite mathematics. I teach pre-cal 1 and 2. And I'm also a course developer for math for elementary teachers. And I also teach applied calculus too. So those are all the math courses I'm involved in.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anna, are you available?
Hi there. I'm Anna. I am an instructional designer in the Office of Online Learning at Nashville State. So we support all areas and all disciplines. I'm just here to learn more about what kind of resources we can provide to faculty members who are interested in exploring OER, and just figure out how we can support those who are exploring the possibilities of OER.
Awesome. Hannah?
Hello, I work in the online learning department with Anna, so I'm also an instructional designer, and I'm in the actively applying OER stage. So I've been working with OER for the past almost 3 years. So
I would love to ask, you've been working with OER for the last 3 years. How has that experience been for you? Any kind of big thing you want to share with the group?
So I just started at Nashville State. I was for the 2 years prior, I was at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And so I think Nashville State and UALR are very different in, like, most faculty at UALR like know what OER is. It's just getting them to want to, use it in their courses. So a lot of what I did was I was a librarian, so I would apply it to like library instruction and things like that. So, I mean, I think it's very beneficial. I love OER. And so I did a lot of work with like working with faculty to get them to want to incorporate OER into their courses. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We actually work really closely with librarians as well, with other community colleges. So we'll definitely would love to collaborate you and get your perspective as we continue this OER journey. I see we have a new individual jumped in, Bear. Bear, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I was just doing a quick around the room of your name, what campus that you're on, what disciplines you teach, and also a snapshot of where you are in the OER journey, if you'd love to, if you'd like to contribute.
Okay. My name is Bir Bahara. I'm teaching physics, astronomy, and physical sciences here at Nashville State, White Bridge Road. What else you said I have to share?
And also where you are in the OER journey, whether you're discovering, you're actively implementing, just to get it, where are you currently?
In terms of OER?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any OER material for my physics courses, so I'm quite new in this area, I think.
Awesome. We love new perspectives coming to OER. So hopefully we're able to highlight some ways to get you started.
Thank you.
And we got a bonus individual in the room, Nelson, my co-founder. Want to give a quick shout out here?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm here to be a fly on the wall. You guys are in great hands here with Joel. This is something that's near and dear to our heart. We started this company based out of that problem. We couldn't afford our college textbooks, right? We would walk into the bookstore and walk right out because there was no way we could afford those materials. And we see OER as being a really powerful agent for us to make a difference in that way. So excited to be here with Nashville State Community College and the wonderful people in the room. Again, I'm here just to be a little bit of a fly on the wall and hear what you guys have to say. But Joel, really excited for what you're going to present here to everybody. So thank you. And thank you for allowing us to be in the room.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing. Some notes I took away. We have a whole spectrum. Those that are new to OER, kind of examining it. Hey, where do I start? Some of you guys are in discovery phases, and others are actively implementing. So it's pretty reflective of most rooms that I've been in, and so it's awesome to see those different various levels of engagement. And we're all here to help each other. So afterward, I'll share my contact information. And so if you want to go deeper into your particular stage and your specific needs, I'm definitely available for a chat. So I spoke a little about who's behind EcoText, and quickly I'll dive into the product, and you guys will be able to see some aspects of the platform. But the key thing with EcoText is we enable the collaboration over those digital resources. So we have a catalog of OER that you guys can tap in and take advantage of it, but we don't stop there. We really want to enable educators and students to maximize the benefits from OER. So this really means making learning active, making learning more socialized, more social rather, and making it more personalized. So that's really the true value of EcoText, which you'll see is not only getting you guys those resources, but really maximizing the benefit and leveraging them in different ways and dynamic ways that works for your classroom. And it's been an interesting couple of years as we've all been through the same ride of COVID-19. But I think it's also been good momentum for OER in the macro sense. And more now than ever, classrooms are virtual. They're being supported more virtually. Universities are enrolling more virtual only classes and courses. So we know that today, the classroom really is beyond just the physical walls, right? We have to be able to reach students in different ways, and OER is a great way to remove those barriers and to have students really involved in their learning. What we've also seen as well in these last couple of years is that OER has expanded not only just for textbooks, but through other mediums. So what you'll see more and more, especially for different repositories, is the ability to get videos, the ability to get interactive software, quizzes, presentations. These are all now falling into the bucket and categories of OER. So while in this presentation, we'll mostly focus on what you might consider traditional textbooks, traditional kind of text content, it doesn't stop there. So if you're an educator that really likes to leverage podcasts and videos and these other dynamic elements, they are available, and we can help find those resources for you. But then additionally, we're seeing a lot of movement, not only from the leadership side of academia, but also federally. Not too long ago, the White House announced a policy to make all research publications that come from public universities immediately available to the public. So these, research now coming from public universities will no longer have a barrier for them, right? They'll be available to the public, they'll be considered open resources. So we're seeing a lot of movement at different levels, especially in California, where the governor announced or allocated $150 million for schools within California that are offering zero textbook programs, zero cost textbook programs, $150 million in total allocation. So there's growing financial support to make sure that OER is available and that we remove this barrier that many students have today. So let's explore. I'm going to switch over my screen now. I'm going to jump into the EcoText platform. And I'm going to give you guys a quick tour in how you can search for resources, how it comes up on EcoText, how you can leverage the tags to find some literature samples. I heard an educator here is teaching math, so how to find some mathematic resources. And then we'll also dive into a book as well and just highlight the reading experience. So I'm going to reshare my screen. And can you guys see this okay? Okay, awesome. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Cool. So I'm in EcoText. Let me jump into the homepage. So this is what, if you guys create an account, this is the experience that you'll be confronted with. So as you can see here, I have my courses. I have what I last opened. I was playing with some titles. And if I jump over to Discovery, it actually pulls the entire catalog of what's on EcoText. So we have over 100,000 different resources that you can directly pull from, you can directly leverage. And most of them are under the Creative Commons license. So as I scroll through here, you guys can see these different resources. So let's pull this guy, for example. So for each title that's on EcoText, you'll be able to get a preview of what this resource is offering. So you have your standard information here. You also have the license in which this is under, and then you have a quick snapshot or a quick preview, a description for the title as well. For most of our resources, we affiliate them with tags. So as you can see here, this is just another method for you to search against. So this book is associated with these particular tags, and these tags typically represent characteristics, majors, or also certain topics that are widely emphasized in the resource. So if I go life science, that's one method. Let's go Scarlet Letter. Find more of a classic resource here. So here's more of a literature resource, as you can see. And I can always just jump around the platform to find different resources. So let's go physics. Here's an OpenStax title here. And it's just that easy, right? 100,000 resources to search for a certain keyword, and then you'll be able to find it within the results. We are looking to implement a method. If you do not find the resource that you're looking for, you'll be able just to submit a request. That'll come directly to our team, and then we will identify or work through what will need to happen for us to get that resource. Or if you have already an OER library that you're pretty fond of, you can share it with us, and we'll look to see if we can just grab that catalog automatically, or identify if there's potential partnership opportunity there. And for each of these resources, you can always share. So we know, just to make it easy for yourself and for students, you can just grab the link, paste it in whatever LMS or communication that you have. And that's one way just to share the resources that you might want to leverage. Before I jump into a particular resource and give you guys a tour of the reading experience, any questions about the catalog, how you can maneuver it as of right now? Okay, awesome. Pretty standard stuff, and it's really friendly. So I'm on a desktop experience currently, but all these functions which I've done and will continue to show, if I shrink my screen here, it'll automatically adjust into a mobile friendly view. Hopefully you guys can still see that on Zoom as I expand my window. Okay, awesome. So 100,000 resources. Let's actually dive into this resource real quick and just get a sense of what you can accomplish here. So we always like to tell individuals that are new to EcoText, you can think of it almost like a Kindle or iBooks, but on top of it, really has dynamic social power. So as you can see here, we have our text, we have images, we can scroll page to page, but the value, as I mentioned, is being able to take these resources to another level of collaboration. So you can see here, I can highlight certain text that I'm interested in, or I can create a social annotation. We'll spend some time in our second session walking through the power of polls. So, asking your students to respond or engage in certain ways. We'll spend some time with the power of quizzes. So posing questions, getting those results, and setting up an LMS to interact. So we'll save those specific interactions for session 2. But what I just want to communicate here is that you have a very expansive tools in your tool shed, for example, to really engage with these resources, right? In some cases, some of the OER resources, very few, but in some cases they might have videos embedded. So you'll be able to watch it directly if that comes attached with the resource that you're working with. And as I scroll through here, you can see here, graphs, tables, anything that has an HTML element, we're able to render it and you're able to interact with it. So it's more dynamic than a PDF and will allow you more ability to really impose or highlight or engage in a way that works best for you. And the links within these resources, oftentimes in OER resources, there's references or links to other materials. So whether it's like a video or maybe lecture slides, or the case might be, you're able to click on these and it'll redirect you to any external references that these resources have. I'll quickly highlight 2. You're able to, within your table of contents, navigate through to the section that makes the most sense to you. So whether you're just focusing on a particular chapter, you can also bookmark a certain page and it'll actually appear in the table of contents. So you can always go back to that particular location. And then of course you can search. So we're in a book here about climate change. If I search for climate, I'm going to find it a million times, but just to highlight functionality, you can search for keywords and then jump exactly where in the particular resource that appears. And then more and more, OER is really stepping its game in terms of accessibility. We're trying to cover that on a reader front. So you can see here, you can customize some of the backgrounds. You can adjust for the font and you can change the font color or the font size, which is doing in a smaller way, but you guys see. Okay, awesome. Any questions so far? Quick highlight of the reader, how you're able to dive into a book that you've searched for, and also the discovery process itself. The one thing, the one additional point I want to highlight too in terms of our catalog. So we're always supplementing it, grabbing resources from across several different repositories. We also realize that educators sometimes have their own resources that they leverage within their courses. So if that's something you want to take advantage of, maybe you have a publication or a journal entry or a snippet of a reading that you've always used, you can always upload it. And you can upload it directly here. We have a sense like a content manager. You can upload your resources and you can share it with your particular class. As you can see here, I've been working with Robert to nail down some resources that he wanted to leverage. And truly this is a community. So if you guys end up writing OER textbooks yourselves, you'll be able to upload it in a public fashion that will be available for everyone on EcoText. So that's really the beauty here. We want to make sure we're continuously grabbing resources that you guys are looking for, but also give an ability for those that want to give and share their resources a channel to do that. Any questions? Awesome. So just to recap, Coming on to EcoText, over 100,000 different open resources. Once you jump in, you're able just to use that global search to find any resources that you might be hunting down for. I can share afterward a catalog breaking down different majors that are available on EcoText. Once you find a resource that you might be interested in, you can see all the information, understand the licensing, leverage the tags to also find any adjacent or similar resources. You can also share these resources directly, jump into the title directly from there. And then for any other resources that you might have already digitally in a local fashion, you can upload it and leverage the reader in the exact same fashion. So I'm going to switch over my screen, go back to the slides here. I'll go into full screen mode. And everyone can still see my screen okay? Awesome, awesome. So I just wanted to highlight how we fuel our current library. So we have direct partners, you might have heard them before, Merlot, Skill Commons, OpenStax. So Merlot and Skill Commons, they have a great repository of OER. They're also an aggregator. Skill Commons is under the Merlot umbrella and works more in a technical capacity. So if you're looking for open labs, open videos, then that's where you go for Skill Commons. And then OpenStax out of Rice University, they do great work with textbooks. You might have seen they have a catalog ranging, really capturing the core disciplines from physics, math, science, English, etc. And then the other logos that you see here are also have great resources in Open and OER. So Open Textbook Library is a great catalog. They have individuals submit textbooks monthly. It's now, I think, in the couple of hundreds. Really rich and great quality. And then there are some other logos here, not only within the United States, but also globally, which we collaborate with to get the content. So we scan a variety of different places and a variety of different repositories to aggregate it here on EcoText. And for any resources that you might have some trouble hunting down or might not find, just reach out to us and we'll work to figure out how we can deliver resources that fit your curriculum. So that's a quick snapshot for this session. We really want to keep it light. Really want to just highlight how you can leverage EcoText to search against our catalog and to find particular resources. In our second session, what we want to do is actually go through and highlight how you can build and implement a course and leverage kind of the collaboration strategies and methodologies to maximize the use of OER. So that's happening this Friday, 12:30 p.m. In the meantime, though, I'd love to invite you guys to sign up and grab an account and actually perform a search using keywords that match your discipline. So I heard English, I heard math, I heard physics. Give it a try and see if you can find resources that interest you. And then what I'll do for our Friday session, we'll actually go through a couple of examples and how you can implement it and make it ready for your classroom. So I'll pause there. Any questions, anything you'd like to add, Robert, and also open invitation for Nelson if you'd like to add anything as well.
Robert, I'll let you go first before adding anything.
Let's see if anyone has any questions, just in case. I don't want to get in the way, as it were. So like Joel was saying, the main thing is exploring them. One of the great things about OER, one of the best things that I found about OER is, as Joel pointed out, the community. Yes, I've created my own OER. Yes, I wrote a book about, I wrote this whole textbook. And I think that's how most people know me, through OER, but I also didn't do it alone. And there were many things within the course that I borrowed from other people, help that I got along the way, people and teams that helped me create the content itself. And that's what it comes back to, is it's this nice marriage between having community and having freedom at the same time. Because it also, the OER, the ability to remix OER, to adopt the kinds of OER we want, and the ability to add in our own materials, to me, really encapsulates academic freedom. And also our ability to work with each other to create better text and better work for our students that isn't centered around making someone money and creating new editions. And that to me is just really the core of it. And there's already all this content there ready for us to use.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Robert. And we align with all those things here at EcoText. I mean, again, just to reiterate, we fundamentally believe that OER is a really powerful vehicle to provide students with the opportunity to get content affordably, right, on day one of class, not filling somebody else's pockets with new editions that say the same thing that the previous edition may have before, right? And just to really emphasize, what our platform here is to do is, and we'll get more of this in the second session, so we really are excited to see everybody there again come October 7th as well. But EcoText is really a platform, right, for the students, right, so that they can have meaningful and deep and meaningful engagements with each other in any type of learning environment, either in the classroom or outside the classroom, to shape meaningful learning experiences for themselves, right? So through the different tools that we gave a little bit of an overview here today around social annotations, right? You could create threads on EcoText. You can leave appreciations on EcoText. You can hyperlink video and other pieces of content there to add depth and breadth to the resources. So you're no longer just looking at a static piece of content, but rather you're looking at something that's pliable, right? Something that it can be molded specifically for the classroom that you're looking to teach. But then also the students can then leverage that to really have exciting, dynamic, modern reading experiences over top of the curriculum that you're looking to reinforce their learning experiences through. So, that's really, at the end of the day, EcoText is that. It's a platform for students, right? It's a platform built for students so that they can not only access affordable content, which is why we're all here today, but also be able to have this kind of modern, dynamic reading experience on a modern platform, either on their phone or through the laptop, through the tablet, wherever it may be. So thank you again for the opportunity. I'll leave it at that. Joel, I'll leave it to you to close it out, but we're excited, right? We're excited to the opportunity to potentially work with all the wonderful faculty here and help your classrooms reach and help your students reach their full potential as scholars during their time at Nashville State.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Nelson. Yeah, I'll stay on for any additional questions. But as I mentioned, feel free to create an account at ecotext.co, and you'll be able to explore the catalog, try out or check out any titles that might be of interest. And then in the meantime, as we look for session 2, we'll focus there on how to really maximize that value and show some real life examples and practices of OER, in the classroom and how you can really leverage it. But with that being said, I'll pause there.